number 33, and I'm back. Recovered from my cold, so to speak, at least. That's what I hope. Let's see how I feel today, how the workout goes. I'm not going to do anything too intense. I'm just going to try to get back into it. But yeah, sometimes, life happens, like I always say, and when life happens, you need to go with the flow. And in this case, going with the flow meant taking a couple of days off and taking it easy, because recovery means resting. And there's definitely no point in pushing yourself when you're ill to come and do any kind of workouts. I have to be honest, it was very hard to not do anything. On the upside, I've been sleeping more than 8 hours a night. So I guess that says something about my body needing the sleep to recover. But here we are again. And for those of you watching and who don't know me, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old and I'm training to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. Not only today, but well into my 50s, 60s and 70s, who knows, maybe even to my 80s. How I do that is I try and mind my sleep. So I try to sleep between 7 and 9 hours every night. I mind what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat healthy. I try to eat whole foods, and I try to eat about 120 to 150 grams of protein in a day. I work on strength training, conditioning training, and mobility, which you can follow here on the live streams and watch some of my videos, and we talk about different things. Why do I do this? I do this because I have 2 children that are growing up. I would like to be able to keep up with them throughout life. I have a demanding job, as in mentally demanding. It comes with some stress, so I'd like to feel fit and capable going into the office every day, knowing that I'm up to the challenge. I would like to be able to go out and travel and do the things that I want to do in life. And if I am physically able and capable, then I should be able to go and do that, not only today, but also 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And I'm well aware of the biological fact that somewhere between 37 and 42, or 35 and 45, things will naturally start to slow down. I'll recover slower, I'll build muscle slower, my general health and fitness will start to deteriorate, I'll put on weight easier. So it's just general strategy of self-preservation and of staying healthy as long as I can, of increasing the number of healthy years that I have in my life, that I'm doing this. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. But I always say that any health and fitness goal is a valid health and fitness goal. So whatever works for you, whether that's weight gain, weight loss, strength, conditioning, being able to look or wanting to look a certain way, or training for a specific sport, I support any and all goals that we might be after at different stages in our life, because I know I've been there. It would be a bit hypocritical of me to say that there's only one true fitness goal that we should be after. For me, having turned 40 this year, the most important goal is to be healthy and to stay healthy, not only now, but well into the future. Friends, remember, whatever journey you're on, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on, because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. And I think we sometimes forget that and are a bit too hard on ourselves as we try to accomplish our health and fitness goals. But it is you who's going to have to do the work. So keeping yourself motivated, staying motivated throughout, maybe being a bit kind to yourself and appreciating who we are today, is going to help us keep going. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'm going to turn on the timer. We're going to start with some mobility, and you might still be able to hear that I am actually recovering from a slight cold. And once we're done with the mobility, we are going to move on to some conditioning work. And it is 5:33 a.m. where I'm at here in Amsterdam. And you can let me know maybe where you are in the world and what you're up to today. What the world might bring you. Work on our neck. And 2 weeks ago, we started on a slight journey of discovery together, where we were going to look into how easy or hard it was to adopt new habits. So in the first week, we actually looked at adding a glass of water to our routine and how easy or hard it is to actually start or add a new behavior to our daily routine. Then we try to add a 10 to 15 minute walk to our daily routine, because the first one, the glass of water, was about understanding how difficult adopting new behaviors is. The second one, the 10-minute walk, was about finding the time in the day, 10 minutes, to actually do some form of exercise, and how easy or hard it is to fit that into a schedule. Now the third thing that we're going to do, just loosening up the neck there, the third thing we're going to do is try and find 15 minutes at the end of the day to discover some sort of evening routine. Why is that important? Well, that's important for a couple of different reasons, but the most important reason is that the end of the day determines very much how well we sleep. Now, I don't make a big secret out of it that I try to avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. The latest, I will sometimes have a cup of coffee if I have a good 3 hours of work left. It's at 3 p.m. That's the absolute latest, because I find otherwise it might interfere with my sleep, but generally I just feel I sleep better since I stopped having caffeine later in the day. Hey there, good morning. Rick Masters, thanks for dropping by. A name I can't pronounce, and YouTube Punk, thank you for dropping by. I hope you're doing well in Texas, friend, and I hope life is treating you well. So we're talking about our evening routines. No, you don't need to do a lot, but taking 10 or 15 minutes to consciously wind down and to detach from the day might be an easier thing to do than we sometimes realize. We probably already have something of an evening routine. We probably watch some TV, have something to eat or drink, a snack, brush our teeth, maybe take a shower, change into our pajamas, and go to bed. And maybe lie there and sleep, lie there and read or do other things. And I'd say there are probably a couple of things maybe might help us sleep better. See, one of them I know from my experience is that what James Clear calls reset and room in the book Atomic Habits really made quite a difference in terms of how I approach the end of the day, how I've tried to approach the end of the day. So, cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, cleaning up the dining room after dinner, making sure that there aren't any dishes left for tomorrow morning, i.e. I'll take care of it tomorrow. Adopting the mindset of taking care of it today gives me some peace of mind. And usually the clearing up or the quickly putting away of the dishes doesn't take half an hour, right? Something that takes 4 or 5 minutes to actually quickly do. Wipe down the sink and we're good to go, so to speak. So does setting up my gear for a workout. I think 9 times out of 10 I manage to set it up the evening before, so there's not something left to do tomorrow morning when I wake up. So my point is, there are probably a bunch of little things around the house, the way you leave the couch after watching TV, the way you leave the kitchen, the dining room table after dinner, at the end of the day, that if you would add a sort of a physical cleanup, which actually becomes so that could be a part of that 15-minute wind down at the end of the day. Now there's something to be said about the amount of unnatural light and the temperature of that light. And I do honestly believe that dimmed lights or no lights at all, including the TV, might actually help prime the brain for sleep. Absolutely. Absolutely possible. just by sitting in a dark room without any lights for a few minutes, we might find ourselves growing quite tired. So I'm talking about a lot of things to add into 15 minutes at the end of the day. But I think what's important is to realize that your bedtime routine probably starts a bit earlier than you think. And the way to set your bedtime is to understand what the time is that you want to wake up. So that's 7 a.m. Subtract 8 hours from that, right? That's 11 p.m. And then you work back from there. That means that somewhere around 10 p.m. you want to start a wind down routine, or at least getting ready for when your head hits the pillow. Now those last 15 minutes, here's what I definitely try to do. First, no phones, no TV. I try to avoid that kind of light very consciously. I make a mental checklist for myself of all the things that need to get done tomorrow, just to be sure if there's anything that I want to do that I don't forget to do it. Sometimes I write these things down. And then we move on from there to bed. The room is generally dark. I try to avoid light as much as I can that last time before bed. And I read. I read at least one page of a book off a Kindle. The light settings as dim as I can without having to strain my eyes to read. And usually 5 or 10 minutes in, but sometimes if the book's exciting enough, 15, 30 minutes in, I get tired and I turn off the Kindle and I go to sleep. Again, maybe 5 days out of 7. This works out that way, right? But that's 5 days out of 7 of winding down well and increasing the likelihood of having a good night's rest. I think it's absolutely worth it. And you might say the same thing. So, taking 15 minutes to wind down at the end of the day, can we find the time? And more importantly, can we find the discipline to do just that? So there's the glass of water every day. I have it standing right here for after after the workout. But in general, just adding that extra glass of water to our routine. There's finding 10 minutes to go for a walk. While I was ill, I needed to go to the supermarket, so I considered that my 10-minute walk. It was actually slightly longer than 10 minutes, but I did it walking anyway. And then, how do we wind down at the end of the day? How do we find 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the day to prepare ourselves for sleep by looking around the house, resetting the room, resetting our mind, preparing for tomorrow, and also avoiding bright lights, phone stimulation. It's not the light on the phone, it's usually the stimulation of the information we're browsing through, and doing something, whether that's listening to soothing music or reading a book, that puts our mind into sleep mode so that we fall asleep. And there's a lot more to talk about sleep, but just finding those 15 minutes to try to get into sleep mode is going to be a big victory already. YouTube punk. Justin. Hey Justin, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate that. And I hope you're well where you are in the world. That goes for Rick Masters as well. Thanks for leaving a message in the chat. And I hope you're doing well where you're at in the world. I slept deep today, YouTube punk. I am happy to hear that, and I hope life in Texas is good for you. And I hope you're having a good end of the day. I'm glad to be chatting with you again today. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Poor man's Jim. Hey, how's it going? You've been quite busy. Loving the live streams and the workouts. Looks intense, but it also looks like you're becoming more capable and fitter. So good on you for showing up and doing the work. And the channel seems to be doing all right as well. So I hope you're doing good. I did heavy hands on the treadmill. Good stuff. Sounds cool. What is heavy hands on the treadmill? Let me know what that exercise might be while I start to do the flow for the workout this morning. Yeah, right. Like, those workouts look quite brutal, if you ask me. I don't think I'd last one session. By the way, since I've been ill, we're just going to take it relatively easy this morning, so don't expect too much. Just priming my joints and muscles here for some work. Just want to see where this will take me. And we'll do that one-handed next, each side. As you walk. Oh wow, all right. Sounds pretty intense. So that just sounds quite intense, YouTube punk, as an exercise to be able to do that. Simple village shorts, exercise. Fat loss in my body. Simple village shorts. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. Thanks for being back on the channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well where you're at today. And we can talk about that for a bit, because weight loss and exercise are related, as in exercise is a part of a healthy lifestyle, and sometimes an aspect of taking control of our health is maintaining our weight. But the path to weight loss that we're often confused about is that exercise is not the key to weight loss at all. In fact, the key to weight loss is how we eat, and how much we eat and what we eat will have a much larger impact on how well we're able to maintain and balance our weight than any amount of exercise we can do. So that's why I stopped titling videos exercise for weight loss, and I suggest that we are quite skeptical, my friend from Simple Village Shorts, about using exercise to lose weight. It helps as a part of a mix: sleeping well, eating well, moving frequently and often. But the overall challenge with weight, and if one of our goals is to lose some weight, very simply is managing how much we eat in a given day. And then exercising helps us build cardiovascular ability, helps us build lean muscle mass, helps us change the energy balance in our body, meaning that we might use slightly more energy when we exercise compared to when we don't. But as the old saying goes, you can't out-eat, out-train a bad diet. You can't out-train a poor diet. Now, there might be nothing too unhealthy in a diet, but the number of calories might be excessive compared to what you need for the shape, size, and lifestyle that you have. So I hope Small Village Stories, that bad, was in some way insightful and helpful for you. As in, do not pin weight loss on all exercise that requires a different strategy. And let me know what you think and what your experiences are. For Jim, you too, take care. Dan, have a good day. And thanks for dropping by and saying hi, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. And Jim, heavy hands. Right, that's exactly it, but I think YouTube punk, maybe you'll agree or disagree. From my teens to my 20s, I was slightly brainwashed by the fitness industry, trying to sell me products, saying that if I would only exercise more, I could keep eating whatever I wanted, doing whatever I was doing, and I would actually get fit and healthy just by buying whatever program they were trying to sell me at the time. And even today, there's no shortage of people out there making money of desperate people without experience or knowledge or time to really understand how health, weight loss, maybe even some longevity actually works. And they take advantage of that, which is why having a straight up, just show up and do the work, whether that is because that is just the most commonsensical advice that you might give someone. Sleep better. Eat smarter and less. And do exercise frequently, varied ways, regularly. And if you just follow those basic 3 guidelines, if you just follow those basic guidelines, you've won 80% of the battle for your health. But it's so much more tempting and sometimes easier to believe that a quick fix is possible. But we should all know, or all learn through experience, that the path to health and fitness is consistency in habits such as sleep, eating, drinking, and working out that will make us healthier and fitter over time. And understanding how hard and easy it is to get on that path comes by learning how to add that glass of water to our daily routine to see how difficult it is to be consistent with something simple, but that is new to our daily routine. That is new in our daily routine, then trying to find 10 minutes for something as simple as a walk around the block, like when you start your commute, the walk to your car when you park your car, the work from your car back home or to the office. Little things that you could easily fit into your day-to-day just to get a bit more movement in, like I will get out of the elevator 3 to 6, sometimes 10 stories below where I'm supposed to be, and I will walk up those stairs, and believe me, I am quite winded by the time I get there. But do that 3 or 4 times a day, and it becomes normal. It's part of my movement routine, and it's time that I'm not sitting and I'm not standing still, that my heart rate goes up, that I'm breathing a bit harder. In other words, my body is learning that certain demands are going to be put upon it throughout the day. And it is going to adapt and get stronger and fitter to deal with those relatively unexpected demands that I'm putting on it. Last set of swings, and it's as simple as that, friends. And we're taking them week by week, step by step already, because I know New Year's coming, and I know some of you watching are going to try to set up New Year's resolutions like I did for many years. And I think the new year is a powerful time in the year. Here comes a glass of water. It's a powerful time in the year to actually try to do new things. But what too often happens is we don't realize what our capacity is for change, what our skill is to manage change, how much bandwidth we have in our day to manage change, how much our social structure supports it's making a change. And that's why this week's exercise of trying to sleep better, trying a wind down routine before sleep, is actually important because it will also confront you with your social environment. Are you a member of an online gaming club? Are you playing games with friends till late into the night? Do you live in a house with roommates where some of them make noise, watch TV, drink, have parties, like to go out partying? Do you still live with your parents? Do they impose a certain curfew on you or not? But these are all things socially that will anchor certain behaviors and routines into our day-to-day. And the thing we need to realize by doing these little exercises is that we're preparing a toolkit for 2025 if we decide to make changes to our health, where we start with small things and we compound them by doing them every day for a whole year. And every time we get the hang of one small thing, we look for the next thing that we can add. So that could be a glass of water, that could be a short walk, that would be trying to get better sleep, and then, from there, moving on to slightly more challenging routines, depending on our health and fitness goals, over and over again. In any case, friends, for those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do that because I want to have a healthy and fun life, and many healthy years, not only now, but also towards the end of my life as I grow older. I want to be able to go out and do things that I like doing, like traveling, sports, activities with the family, stressful days at work, and manage those without issue. And I want to keep up with my kids as a father, and as a role model, show them what is possible in life as they grow older. So that's why I'm here. I mind my sleep, I mind what I eat, I mind my strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training. Try to spend time with people I love and care about, try to do things I enjoy, and try to live a generally stress-free life. If that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I live stream every day, unless I'm ill or something else comes up. So usually around 330 days a year, I think, would be a good number to pin myself on. And I use kettlebells. I do mobility here at home. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I want to feel fit and competent for life. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, and we can be on this journey together. Like I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on, because it's the person we are today is going to help us get to where we want to be tomorrow. And a bit of kindness will help us be consistent. YouTube Punk, thanks for dropping by in the conversation as always. I've also tried intermittent fasting. It doesn't work as well for me. I just like my day to start with food, but sometimes I will do a day where I skip breakfast, and it's also a mental thing to see how in control I am of my urges and my need to snack, but it usually works out. And there you go. I think you've got the right strategy for healthy weight loss, sustainable over time, buddy. Ooh, thunderstorm outside at 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Poor Man's Gym, thanks for dropping by. Justin, Simple Village Shorts, appreciate you dropping by, saying hi. Rick Masters and someone from either Greece or Russia, thank you for dropping by and saying hi in the chat. I really appreciate that. And friends, the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.